as opposed to just like must meta picks.
AK goats.
Yeah, or you said it.
Well, good thing is for this map.
Yeah, go on, man.
Yeah, okay, so good thing is for this map, goats isn't as prevalent, neither on attack or defense, because if you look at first point, there's so much high ground on
exactly
on the main gate, even near the point, so it's really good to have those mobile heroes, those Winston, those divas.
And there you go, the defending team. Yeah, they're setting up top, and it's Chris. Nah, he's switching to Widow.
He was just teleporting his team. He was teleporting his team to the high ground. What a gamer.
Well, they could have picked May for that, but okay.
Symmetric teleport range is just a bit more sufficient, I suppose, but let's see if...
I think it's easier to pull off than the May wall.
Yeah, definitely. But let's see if Team Red can break this high horse defense. There's a lot of resources up top there, and Chris has all the protection in the world.
So Suzu's just scouting out, and the rest of the team's just waiting for the heads up.
Yeah, just scanning some information. And you see that up top goes back to his seat.
I wonder if he's gonna switch himself. No, he's gonna stay Sombra.
Sombra's a pretty strong picker, especially with Genji. If you get like a good EMP and a blade going on, or a nano blade even, you should be able to win this high horse defense.
And this map is, the health pack, the mega health pack on the second point. If you manage to hack it, you have a very nice source of healing for the attacking team.
Okay, so Team Red is already forcing Team Blue onto the point, which does land up by Krill getting taken out, but Gallia falls. Trades from both teams now. Let's see how this turns out. Chris gets two very crucial picks on the main tank and the main healer.
Oh man, another pick.
It's still going both ways, and one tick has already been secured. Now, Chris falls. The Genji dashes up top, but the Sombra comes in. Just too much to bear.
Yeah, no support. I mean, kind of discoordinated when it comes to just jumping down. Like, Krill was forced down as the first person. He went down, and, the team didn't really follow. So he died, and Cake kind of came down, tried to help him, but it was too late.
It's some switches coming in now, though. Pressett's going on to the Reinhardt.
Interesting.
He's not going to helplessly sit by while the divers go past the shield. He's just going to have a bit of a swing at them. Let's see how he does.
Yeah, he needs to be careful about Sombra though, because if he's hacked, that's not good.
Indeed. I'm curious to see what Attacc will do, because he has that blade coming up, 98%, and the only thing that they really have is a Widowmaker ultimate, and maybe a Soldier Visor coming up close, but this will be clutch. And there's an EMP ready as well for Team Red.
I think they all clumped up. Like, if Winston jumps in, he can get some nice cleave damage.
Yeah.
They're not really spread out too much. I would like to see
play.
Yep. Oh, nice.
There's the wall.
Okay, they're coming in. Here's the EMP.
And there comes the blade out. Two picks already, both DPS down.
Oh, this looks bad.
Sorry. Red team is cleaning up. 3 picks already, that make it 4 or 5.
Oh,
and they have a lot of support.
Okay.
But look at Red team, they have the sound barrier, they have the nano boost,
but look,
the wind
there's still no ticks. Still no ticks.
Not yet, but the ultimates are so strongly in the favor of Red team. There comes the beat drop, Visor negated. And they still have Primal Rage going on, there's still a nano boost online. They'll definitely get some progress.
That's the first tick.
Press to get knocked, gets knocked out, gets hacked. This is rough. This is really rough. Cake is forced to contest the point with her shift.
Yeah, this is just tickling in one by one. They have to like survive for as long as they can.
Yeah, but we don't see any crazy stall picks going on. Chris now going back on the Tracer. Krill takes out the Ana, that's vital. And the Divac, this is big play.
And the Divac, that's big. Okay, and the
Careful to Winston. Chris is recalled, stalling on point, but gets hacked. No one left to stall.
Too little, too late.
They started coming back just towards the end, but the damage had already been done. I didn't really like Krill's Diva Bomb there, must be said. Like, getting the Ana down and the Divac is very hard.
That was huge. That was, if they were to come back, that would be like the turning of that comeback.
But I want to point out one thing. Suzu had an excellent hack on Chris Creek. Chris really used his recall, and then he got hacked outside of the point and couldn't touch anymore, and that's how they get like the last kill and the last percentage onto the point.
But also
a solid 5-minute time back.
The very initial attack, when he was just sneaking behind everybody, being just in stealth, and Chris popped the infra side from Widow, but they didn't see him because nobody turned behind, because he was just in the back line, like totally in the back, and they would have to turn their backs to see if he's there. They didn't see him because nobody really responded, and then the EMP came out, and all the ultimates.
Well, you know what they say, and we can definitely see it in Blue Team now. When in doubt, go to doubt, and that's exactly what Blue Team is going to be doing.
They're like, okay, it's enough of this, let's just win.
Let's just go to doubt. The thing is, though, it was maybe a very smart map pick by the Red Team. They took a map with a lot of high ground, so running goats, especially on first point here, is not as easy as it may seem on other maps. And It seems like Red Team kind of prepared for this. They have the new hero Ashy, always good to get a bit of a pick off with a sniper rifle. Always handy to get some dynamite going.
Oh yes, especially with Mercy and the damage boost.
Exactly, they have the Junkrat for the extra spam damage in the Riptire, but double damage application on supports. Getting a Discord and a Mercy damage amp.
And you know, all that spam from Orisa and Roadhog, that's gonna be tough to break through, even with Lucio's speed boost.
Yes, we'll see
There's
how,
just so much spam.
We'll see how they rotate those attack abilities and how they play around the Moira here. But Red Team is already set up on high ground, pretty standard play. The hook misses and the team up misses.
Yeah. Speed boost.
And Crested's Reinhardt Berry is already bursted down. It's immense. Damage is incredible.
But they managed to... Nobody got picked, which is what they wanted.
True. And now they have high ground on the right side, and they can rotate the point quite effectively.
Yeah, but still, they can't engage into like the shield war. They don't have any spam.
No,
as
like,
opposed...
already loses the barrier, so that's the engagement out of the way there. They get some point presence and some footsie back and forth.
Yeah, but this is good for them. Like, the Team Red has to attack the point, and this is where the Sixpack attack can shine, because, you know, just close quarter combat with Brig and Lucio and Brain.
Oh no, and there comes the Riptire. It's looking pretty rough. Red Team cleaning up.
Yeah, that's a reset. But you know what? This is what's dangerous, playing goats into like Junkrat. He's just gonna have a Riptire like pretty much every fight.
Pretty much, yeah, that's very true. And I think the turning point there was really Krill getting trapped. They sort of started to break the Orisa barrier, they sort of started to rush past, but then Krill got trapped, lost his Diva mech, and then the Riptire came in. That's team fight over, unfortunately.
Yeah, but at least the Riptire is out of the question now. But then again, we're gonna see Bob very soon.
We're gonna see Bob again, and also those tank ults are slowly like slumbering on. And if we look at blue team, all the tank ults are below 50%, so they're not getting there just yet. But the support ults on blue team, those are interesting right now. We're gonna have a Lucia ult, we're gonna have a Moira ult, and that rally is gonna end up coming there pretty quickly. But Divas get picked no rally for now, but they push anyways.
Okay, there's Bob.
Bob's going into the chokehold, firing at everyone. Yeah, there goes Crested. The Moira ult was committed by blue team.
Yeah,
and
that's
now the
very
Valkyrie gets committed by Gallia.
They didn't really invest much, only Moira's ultimate, which is like expendable, so nothing's too valuable. But Mercy's ult and Bob already used, so... But then again, look, like...
Has coming back on.
Yeah.
And the whole hog to keep people at bay, and the rest of their bongos. A lot of damage going to be flying in from Red Team, as they are a little over halfway of their first point defense. Let's see if they can keep it up.
You know what? I think Sixpack Attacc, they just banking everything on the Grav.
Yep, the Grav Diva Bomb combo.
But they don't have an Ana to like take away those heals, so you know there's Zen on the enemy team. He can just negate the whole Graviton surge.
Unless that nasty Diva Bomb comes in, because there's no healing that can save from 1000 burst damage. The trades back and forth, and it seems like Red Team has the advantage again. 2 tanks down, the rally gets popped though.
Yeah, but you know, look what happened. Nerboss popped trans, so it's, you know, Chris has his way clear for a huge Grav. If only he can land it. And they can follow up, because they have to follow up.
Boyards also used the sound barrier, so they don't have as much of an engagement tool in terms of support ults either. And the rally was popped, so like I said, blue team is really banking on that Graviton surge, but most importantly, they're banking on that Graviton with the Diva Bomb. Both ults around the 90% mark. Chris is gonna farm the last bits, Curl has it ready. And we're just
this is pretty much the last attack. Oh!
Cake gets trapped and punished, and there comes the Riptire. Well, just clean the house with the Riptire. People are hiding, but what will it do? Down goes Bo and down goes Crescent.
They still have a 1 attack. They can still regroup and push in with Lucio.
But Bob is going to be online again, and if they decide to push that
you have to get out. Oh, this is
Devious.
Painful.
Some heights here. Actually played by Suzer, and he's going to have Bob for that last team fight again. If blue team decides to rush through the health back side, that will be Bob in a narrow corridor, which is never good with 900 HP or so.
Yeah, but they just have
to touch.
Oh, Krill's already without a mech.
Comes in.
Can they touch? Can they touch?
They touch. Okay. Bob is going on point. He's contesting.
They still have a shatter, and they're gonna have grab unless Chris dies. Okay, here's the.
There goes Ursa.
Oh,
big shatter, 3-man shatter at the Graviton. Blue team cleaning house, 1 up. And Devious.
Man.
There he goes. Yes.
But that Graviton, that was like 0 people in the Grav.
Yeah. Eventually, it was. I think it was Chris Hammer even that knocked Ursa into the Grav, but then Fortify came online.
Yeah.
But.
Well, but still, you know, that's what it is. They speed it onto the point, and this is the thing with Orisa and Roadhog setups. Like, if you have to force them to move, and if you force them to move, you can then start like picking them off because Orisa's shield is just static, right? It doesn't really move with them.
Yes, and Rodok doesn't offer any flexibility like a D.Va would, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
Taxel's gonna swap out to the Doomfist, and Sue's gonna go for the Sombra. They're going for this anti-goat. They're not happy.
Yeah.
They have the tank ults coming up, and they're just gonna farm those DPS ults again.
And Doomfist is gonna be just painful to deal with on this map.
And there comes the Bongo's. Cake is already down, the main healing down for the Goats team. Down goes Chris, the barrier is down for Reinhardt, the rally gets popped.
They investing, but okay, Rodok.
Down comes the Rodok comes out, just a normal trade. But look at Taxel, he's already got 75% on Doomfist ult, and look at Suzu, he's already around 70% for the EMP as well, so it's going to be at least 2 very hard fights for the Goats team to push through. And if things get scary, you still have a Valkyrie, you still have that Transcendence, so the team is looking pretty strong right now in terms of ult economy.
But you know what can turn everything around, you know better than everybody, that one huge shatter.
Yes.
And you know, we know Chris had been playing a lot of Reinhardt, so who knows? Maybe all that practice will pay off with a huge 6-man shatter.
Yes. The speed boost is on for Boyard, and will they rush past the shield? The team bubble comes on, Crescent rushes past shield, the barrier comes in. The EMP!
Oh, here's the EMP. Yeah, that's it for this attack.
Crescent was baiting out the shield and he was just moving forward, then he gets EMP'd. No shatter for him. He still has it, so he will keep it for the next fight, but I think he intended to use it here. Saxon falls on Gallia fall. This is an equal fight. Anyone's game right now. But Neribus is completely just on the high ground.
This is what Brigitte gives you. Like, she just swings into people, passively heals everybody around.
Very little tanking presence, no tanks online, and Neribus will maybe have to contest. The Valkyrie comes in. The res comes in.
Oh, but Doomfist Lucius down and he had the sound barrier. That's unfortunate.
Krill takes down Taxel, means more progress. 1 tick already been taken for the blue team. Crescent's back on point and he has that ultimate.
Pistol Mercy.
Yes, Crescent gets hooked in, can't use the shatter, isn't safe enough, and red team stabilizes.
That was a huge messy fight, but you know what? It's actually good for the blue team.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
A lot of ultimates had to be committed in order to the point. They still got 1 tick. And there you go, there's only gonna be Slapdash's ultimate online, and maybe Suzu if he can farm it fast enough. But you have Graviton.
Quickly, but the Graviton for Chris and the Shatter and the Rally are all gonna come online.
And the barrier, damn, they have a lot of powerful ultimates.
Indeed, no D.Va bombs to combo the Grav with. If there's no Valkyrie online, and if there's no Transcendence online, you can still wail away with the Reinhardt into the Grav. Let's see how they'll use him. But I think Suzu will maybe be able to shut this one down with his EMPs. At 98% he's going to have it. And then you know what Doomfist, if he starts going in on those tanks, he's going to have his ultimate during this fight as well.
Yeah, and Suzu's just waiting.
Let's see how things go. Suzu's the pull comes in. Wonderful plays. Orisa pull into EMP. That's some next level shit right there. Crescent falls to Taxel. The meteor strike comes in. Boyard falls. This is going to be a reset. One last chance for blue team after this. And they need some time on the clock. Otherwise they can only draw this map for a 5-minute full hold. Devious gets staggered. Yeah, unlucky.
And you know what's unfortunate? Just as Chris is going to be about to use the Graviton, I'm pretty sure Nerbot will have his strengths ready.
Indeed, and it's going to be very hard to force it out because that Mercy ultimate is going to be online, and that's going to do some good healing and some good peeling, and you're not really going to take those down. So, a lot of things are really going to depend on Red Team's support play here, whereas Blue Team has some offensive moves, some offensive tricks up their sleeves. It looks like Red Team has the supportive power to counteract it. Let's see how they do it. The pull comes in.
Sneaking from behind.
Yes. And look at that Doomfist just standing on top of the pillars. Touches point. The team bubble gets used. That's going to be risky. Nice timing on the beat drop by Boyard.
Oh, that's a good grab.
That's a good grab, but the trance comes in, but the Mercy's in it. Do they pin it? No, the pin misses.
No, she's out.
Will he shatter now? Or he already used it? Charge
he used it last fight, actually.
The meteor strike comes in, the bongos come in.
Oh, and that's a lot of damage.
2 ticks taken. 1-for-1 trade, and already 2 ticks taken.
It's still doable.
Oh, the rest comes in on Slapdash. That's going to be a lot of stall potential on the Roadhouse right there.
Good play by Krill to provide the Matrix.
Oh, big shatter! That's a 2-man at least, and the supporters are in it. There comes the D.Va, but no EMP.
Oh my goodness.
Crescent's wailing away.
Holy smoke.
Good God, we're still going in. Doomfist coming in, but no one's there to touch. In overtime, blue team managed to goats it out. Wonderful shatter.
That was the shatter of the gods, man. Holy smokes.
But one very unfortunate problem for blue team. There won't be a second attempt, whereas only 1 tick needed for red team with a 5-minute timeout.
5 minutes.
So, despite losing that second point defense, I think red team can be quite happy with what they did. They played quite well, and now they only need to secure 1 tick in about 5 minutes, which should be quite doable, I must say.
Yeah, especially with like Sombra and Winston D.Va setup.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see, because I see some familiar things again on Red Team. We see the Sombra coming out, we see the Winston, we see the Genji. Will we see an Ana again? Because as we know, one EMP and Nanoblade, if you only need one tick, that should secure you the round.
Yeah, exactly.
Narabel's coming with the Lucio, always handcuffs and speed boost, especially in these days. They come in with D.Va and Moira. No
Oh, Moira, that's interesting.
No, I think they might...
That's very... Nah, they're switching. Yeah, Moira would be very peculiar with just like a lot of mobility heroes. You can't really heal anybody because no one's in front of you.
True. Oh, now comes the Ana. Okay, a lot of support swapped there by Gallia, but I think they might settle for the Ana now. At least it was their last pick. So, and she comes to Mercy again.
Back to Mercy. I think Mercy is like the comfort pick for Gallia.
Could be, but also don't forget this map is very high ground heavy. So if you have your tank set up on the high ground, and you can float in between high grounds, it's very strong for Mercy. And the damage boost on Genji, it may not be the same as Nano boost, but Valkyrie and a Genji Blade, that's still going to do a lot of damage. Especially
again, no Zen on the Sixpack attack side.
Yes.
So Genji's just gonna slash through.
But it is a Goats lineup again. They are sticking to their Goats, they're sticking to their Goats here, I suppose. Goats is gonna scout it out, and he's walking back a bit. Will they swap anything? Because they now know...
Krill's just trying to detect Sombra.
But Red Team is all running back to spawn, there's not much to detect.
Yep. Oh, we're gonna have... Oh, Gallia, Zen. Nice.
The Zen. Ooh, they're running Zen Goats. It's very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Zen Goats is going to add just a little bit of extra pressure on the main tank battle. First, if he's going to have that Discord orb on him, it's going to be rough. And don't forget, that extra support ult, if you compare the Moira here to the Zenyatta...
Oh, no comparison.
Yeah, but if you look at it this way, the Coalescence will be like the main supportive ult for the blue team, right, in normal attacks. Whereas the other team might have a Transcendence.
That was a 200 IQ play to just flank them from behind with a speed boost.
Yeah, they all went for the engagement. Crested takes out both the supports in the backline, and now Suzu also falls. No supports left for the Red Team anymore.
That was very clean.
When in doubt, goats it out. Well, it's working out for now, I can tell you that. Very clean engagement. And Crested landed the kill on both the Lucio and the Zenyatta, means no ult charge there.
These were initial picks. So just no supports from the get-go. That's just, you're not gonna win that fight.
Indeed.
And look what happens now. The ult economy favors the Sixpack attack.
It does. That Shatter's almost online. Chris and Krill look pretty close to that D.Va bomb and the grab combo. But the thing is, at some point in this match, Chris is going in deep. The counter pick comes in, both team bubbles on the Reinhardt. Chris walking forward with the self bubble. They're going deep, they're going for it. Krill takes down Gallia. Crescent's a bit isolated right now. Will he live? He gets an extra kill to Suzu.
No, he still got Brig.
That's he still got one kill. Pick. And the rally comes in for blue team, so they will have a lot of sustain here. And the Moira ult. The Shadow comes in for T10 IQ. But the pin misses, and that means that ultimates get infested from the Red Team side, and it takes the fight out for long of a stall, and Slapdash gets staggered.
Yeah, and look, 2 minutes have passed. Gallia switched back to Moira.
No ult
I think they didn't have enough heals, man. With Zen, Lucio, and a Break, the healing is just not there for you.
Yeah, what blue team did very cleverly was engage aggressively, because that Zen can be quite a threat when he's at range, when he can fire his Discord orbs and fire his regular ult fires and whatnot, but when the gap is close, well, when Moira orb and a bit of damage, and when they're all swinging in your face, it's going to be rough for Zen.
Exactly. Oh, huge grab done.
And the D.Va comes out.
Well, that's still, the picks are coming through. This is over.
Krill touches just in time, almost a C9 cap. But good news is, Krill and Chris both use their ultimates, which is almost like a clean fight when, even though D.Va didn't land any kills, but it does mean that Red Team doesn't have to worry about the grab D.Va bomb on the enemy side, and look what's coming up. Attacc is going to have the Graviton, Slapdash as the ultimate.
And Suzu's gonna give them armor. They're gonna be tough to beat in this fight.
Yes. So what will we do? Rest is looking for an engagement again, just some poking, some footsies here and there. Krill's just defending the point.
Yeah, they don't want a C9 again.
The B drop comes in, the rally comes in. Shatter, ooh, big bomb by Slapdash, a 2-man kill on both the Reinhardt and the Lucio. Suzu takes down Devious, and the Shatter comes in. I think this is Red Team's game. It took him along, and it was a very valiant bolt by Blue Team, I must admit. But in the end, Red Team does win, and it does look like Ori Tracer will win our first map today.
Yeah, our opening map goes to the... We're Tracer already? Wait, is this We're Already Tracer, right?
We're already Tracer, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna... This was a play, but you know what? You know what I'm gonna say? Because the blue team got dominated in the first round, I mean, like the first round of this match, right?
Yeah.
But they came back pretty strong. They defended this almost till the end.
Yeah, for about 4 minutes, 0.1.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
They have reasons to feel good about themselves after a rough start.
That swap to goats really did seem to help them out, and I think we might see it on other maps as well. But look at this, a lot of eliminations there for Suzu, and most of them on the objective, which is very important, of course.
Yeah, especially on 2CP.
Go back to our new lobby here, and we're going to go for our next map pick. After we have 2CP, we'll be moving on to a payload map. And now it's going to be the other team's pick. So
yeah, and I'm very curious to see how those dynamics look, because, you know, obviously we have some teams that play really well on 2CP, but for instance are bad on King of the Hill.
Yes.
So let's see how they fare on... Oh, Rialto.
Rialto, that's an interesting pick right there. I remember it all too well from Open Division.
Yep.
But it looks like we're going to head straight into our second map here on Rialto, which is the pick from Sixpack Attacc. And we'll see if they can neutralize the series here. If they manage to win this one out, then it's 1-1, anyone's game again in a best-of-3 series, and then we'll just be moving to King of the Hill. And we know Chris likes his Tracer, and we all know how good Tracer can be on King of the Hill. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
but we also know what Brigitte can do to Tracer.
Indeed. Interesting interplays right there. We'll see what happens.
Well, anyway, man, what do you prefer on this map? Do you prefer to play Rain or Orisa? What's better, in your opinion, on this map?
On defense?
Yeah, on defense.
I usually played it with an Orisa myself, but I saw that many teams still opt for Reinhardt here. Because so if you're playing with Orisa, you're going to be playing around the bridge, so you want to take the high ground, you want to have some spam damage. Whereas if you're playing Reinhardt, of course you're playing closer to the ground, you're more in the center, if you will. But it's not uncommon for teams here to play goats v goats. People say it quite often, like when in doubt, just goats it out. Well, goats is definitely strong on this map, and when the enemy has goats and you have goats, it can go either way.
Well, but will we actually see some Hanzo action?
Yeah, we already saw some Suzu on the sniper on the Ashe again. He already played it on the Anubis, and he's going to go for it again.
Yep. This is a good map for Ashe, I think. You know, it's also a good map for Widow, so it by proxy makes it a good map for Ashe. You know, she's like a sniper, like a lightweight Widow. So, you know, I'm looking forward to see what he can do with those huge sightlines.
Yes, and also, don't forget, Rialto is quite a close map. It's quite similar to King's Row, a lot of narrow streets and hallways and whatnot. And if you unleash Bob in like a narrow chokehold there, then we all know what's going to happen. But look at this. Blue team sneaking over the bridge, not making any sounds by crouching.
Oh, they going for a quick engagement. Very interesting.
Going for the spawn camp. Let's see if they can hold it out for quite a while. And I'm hoping
actually
on their Bastion. And Farah, they're expecting it. They're playing around it, and they're going high ground, it seems. Because how can you contest the Bastion with a high ground?
Wait, they're waiting. Oh, this is gonna be huge.
This is gonna be interesting.
Sees them.
Farah scouts them out, and they see it. The boop doesn't. It connects on Cake. That's the main healing out of the way. Will the spawn trap still commence? Bubbles get traded. No stun online.
Well, but look.
Suzu takes down Crested. Suzu is set up.
Oh my, that's filthy.
And let's look at it this way. If there's a Bastion on the high ground, what can free tanks and free supports do about it? Only the Diva can fly up to it for just a second, but one healer will take care of that. Suzu with a very smart pick there on the Bastion. Yeah,
exactly. Very smart. They predicted the goats, and they were like, you know what? We're gonna give them a high ground Bastion.
And look at Suzu right here. He's saying, you want to play goats? That's fine with me. I'll just sit on the cart. I've got my Reinhardt shield. I'll keep my distance.
Oh, we have switches coming in.
Yes, Diva is going on to Soldier, and Chris Creek is going on to the Ashe, which is an interesting pick for Bastion comps, because that Dynamite, it can really burn multiple people. Chris Creek falls into... Ooh, the Matrix there, blocking the Fire Strike. Just some Reinhardt trades there, but Krill falls probably to Suzu, yes. Suzu doing work on those tanks once again, already broke the barrier.
Okay,
he just takes down Suzu on the side.
He already did damage.
He already did all the kills, and the rest comes in.
And you get Mercy with the res. Like, even if you invest all your resources, you kill the Bastion, you still have to prevent Mercy from the res.
Yes, and looking at the comp right now from Blue Team, we see there's a lot of range. There's a Soldier 76 and a Ashe. Sorry. But one of the things that's problematic, Suzu also has a lot of range with the Farah next to him, so...
Yeah.
If the Bastion falls from the range, the Farah just...
I think they decided to take the Farah out of the sky first and foremost, because, you know, Soldier and Ashe, I would suppose it's not really meant to counter Bastion, like just hard counter Bastion, but Farah, I think they're more afraid of Farah at the moment.
I see. Well, Suzu got quite a few kills last time, so let's see if he continues to do so. Suzu set up top, takes down the Soldier, and then drops. The Farah comes back from behind.
Oh,
that's very
beautiful, man.
The rest comes back. Suzu falls. It's a bit of a favor to Blue team now, I would say. No Bastion.
Oh, is there a battle?
Yeah, but there comes Transcendence. I think blue team's got this in the back.
Yeah, they should.
A lot of ult invested.
Okay, so will Suzu switch for Bastion? He has the ultimate, yeah.
He's walking out of the gate. He's on the break right now. I think he's feeling it, dude. And you know what? You're gonna have that. Okay, tactically sound board, but you're gonna have that Graviton and just let your Bastion wail away, either in ultimate or just normally.
Okay.
Bob comes in. Well, Chris Creek might be dead, but Bob still lives on. Bastion set up, and there comes Transcendence.
This trend is huge.
Aggressively. Bob takes down Taxel. Chris Creek might be dead, but Bob lives on and does all the work. And down goes the Pharah. Nice bubbles and shield there by the Reinhardt and Nazari on red team. Demon Bomb finds nothing. And out comes the Bastion.
And now the Bastion ultimate to clean it up.
Yes, and Divas takes a bit hit, but just escapes barely.
Yeah.
Boyard falls. Cake's gonna have the Moira, but she's going to escape. And red team caps. And out comes the Valkyrie. Yeah, it's red team's fight right here.
Yeah, I think the blue team is gonna make switches anyway, because you know Crested used Shatter when the point was already taken, like not the optimal use of Shatter.
That tactical applies for Divas doesn't find anything really, and he gets taken out. However, there will be no support ults online for red team for quite a while for already Tracer.
Yep. Suzu switched to Hanzo.
Alright. They're just gonna farm with that Dragon combo.
Yeah.
You only have like 4.5 minutes for the last phase for phase 3, sorry. If you take the Zenyatta ult out of the way in one fight and then come back with your Graviton Hanzo ult, you should be able to cap it out all the way, which on Rialto is very impressive. It's notoriously a very hard map to cap. Slapdash is still looking high charge there. He's some damage going. He's being healed up a bit, and the main tank battle proceeds now. A lot of damage there on Crested Shield. Look at that.
They need to contest that card.
Yes, and Neribos takes down Power. That's a very crucial pick.
Yeah, it is.
The Shadow comes in, finds Devious, finds Cake. That's 3 picks already, and now it's time to go on. 4 picks. Red team's cleaning up. Gallia's moving forward. The DMAC comes in, and they still have Grav and the Valkyrie. The Trans comes in too late. No contestants. And a very, very convincing push by already Tracer there.
It was. I don't think the payload even stopped. I mean, it stopped for a while, but you know, it was mostly on the move.
Yeah, I think there was like one fight where blue team kind of had the upper hand and forced a reset, but that's mostly it. Almost 4 minutes left in the time bank, and we're in a very similar situation. Red team, we're already Tracer, caps all the points with a fairly large time bank, but we know what happened last time. Blue team managed to fight out the 3 points as well.
Yeah.
And they were very close to full holding, so let's see if they can do such a thing again. Because even if it pushes on overtime.
Look what's happening, it's double shield.
Double shield, yes. Good thing is though, for blue team, if they manage to cap all points, they'll at least have a second attempt with at least 1 minute left, regardless of how big of a time bank red team has, so we'll just see what happens. Maybe they'll turn it around.
I mean, I wonder if the red team expects the Bastion, because you know how it is with the mentality thing. You pick the Bastion, you dominate, and then the enemy team is like, you know what, we're gonna do the same to you.
It's a classic solo queue experience for many of us, I would say. But if you look at red team right now, they have a fairly decent comp to deal with it. You have Lucio to speed your team around so you don't get caught out too easily. Gallo with the damage boost onto the Pharah and maybe even onto the Ashe. Going to be a lot of damage, but there will be a lot of shields in the way. Reinhardt and an Orisa Berry, that's a lot of things to deal with.
And you know, Pharah can keep her distance and just spam rockets from afar, where Bastion can't really deal much damage to her.
True, but if there's so much shielding, will you have enough damage to actually deal with Bastion?
That's true, that's true. So we'll see, they carefully approach the payload.
Look at Neribos right there.
Yeah, I know, he's waiting.
He's waiting. Spotted. He's waiting for his moment.
I don't think so. He's coming in. He's coming in
with the boop. He got the boop off. Or not? No, he didn't.
Nah, he didn't.
Okay, he's going to go back to safety. But it was a nice play there, seeing it. Cake gets taken down though.
Unfortunate.
That's the healing out of the way for the Bastion for the most part. Only that Zeno, but Chris Creek does take an T10 IQ, so the shield advantage is definitely in the favor of the Bastion. The rest comes in from Gallia, brings back T10 IQ, but Neribos
that was a risky right?
Yeah, it was risky, but they got it off, and she didn't die, so I would say worth it. I love the shielding now.
Definitely.
And that Bastion set up behind it, double shield, and now it's the Pharah's job to deal with it.
Yeah.
The Orisa and the Reinhardt shielding it, and the Poke comes in with some extra shot.
Even with Cake dying to Pharah and to the boop, there's still the Bastion's just providing this covering, suppressing fire. You can't really capitalize on this. You have to stay back because Bastion's just spamming bullets in your face.
In the meanwhile, Boyard on the flank on the left side takes down the enemy Mercy, and now it's a massive advantage here. But Suzu takes down Crested, like Tracer going either way, and like I said, this fight can go either way, and both teams are getting their picks. Chris takes down Slapdash, massive pick on the Zarya, getting that charge reset. And you know what? Chris is going to be decently close to that ultimate as well. But there's a lot of things to deal with it on the red team. You have the Valkyrie coming up with the barrage, you have Bob coming up for Suzu, you have the Shatter coming up. Red team's got a pretty solid ult economy here.
That's true. Farah's poking to just farm the ultimate. There it is.
And what I like as well, Farah can take an angle on the double shield and just
yep, that's the bastion.
The flank. Yes, but a massive barrage here. It's a slight advantage for red team, but that barrage really played off. Getting 3 kills with barrage is really good.
Yeah.
But something interesting right here, because we have double shield on blue team still. We still play Orisa and Reinhardt. Well, Farah can take a good angle on him and maybe get some damage in from an off angle. And then if Suzu lands some dynamite onto the main onto the main team, then you get some damage in as well. And Bob is just going to rush past those shields. He's not gonna...
Yeah, exactly. He's not gonna bother. He's gonna be like, you know, I don't care about just shields.
Yeah, I'll just get in straight up in your face. But Nerboss takes down Chris. That's
I mean, to be honest, Nerboss is balling, man. He's balling.
He's feeling it. He was already looking for the boop on Lucia, and he's still prevailing. Spam damage comes in here. Big pull. Transcendence and Valkyrie gets traded. Shatter lands nothing. And the bongos come in. Yeah, Crescent's feeling it. And the visor, a lot of damage. But the Transcendence and Bob come out.
And the Mercy ultimate. That's a layer of ultimates, but it's okay.
Yes. Well, to be fair, a lot of ultimates from both sides. We saw the bongos.
Exactly.
I think both teams invested around 4 ultimates, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm counting correctly. 3 or 4. So it's an almost equal trade. But red team is going to have those tank ultimates still. Slap is gonna have the grab, you know. Yeah. It's gonna be rough. Yeah, and there's only a minute left. Yes, and in the meantime, you know, the Farah might get the barrage again. Chris is still sitting on the bastion, has the ultimate, wants to use it, maybe with a Moira Crow lessons. In the meantime, though, Krill swaps around to a D.Va, and D.Va swaps around to a McCree in this case. Maybe to deal with Farah a bit longer, and on top of that, Krill and the D.Va might just add a bit more flexibility. Big graph coming in. Chris is
I like this graph. I like this graviton just containing the bastion.
Good coalescence by Cake, though.
Very good coalescence, keeping everybody up.
No one falls on either side, and it's still anyone's game. Barrage comes in, takes down 2, both the DPS down. Yes, kind of free kills if you count the D.Va mech. A res comes in, and the Farah's back. Krill dies. Boyard finds Nerboss, so there's going to be no thing after the fight.
Bo is fragging,
lands the suicide kill, but someone has to touch his 15 seconds. No Ashe and no Zenyatta online for red team, but Chris takes down the Farah. Chris has had enough. But will there be anyone to touch?
This is the question.
Yes, that's a big question. No Lucio picks yet.
Okay,
Krill's flying in. He gets the touch. That's overtime secured. Attacc is coming back with the Hammond.
Okay, Chris is back. Let's see.
Yes. Slap that's finds a double kill. Well, it finds a kill on Krill, which is really good. Nerboss with Transcendence, they continue to push.
Oh, there's the Hammond.
Big
there you
driver. A lot of stalling and a lot of damage coming in. The Shatter gets cancelled, Preston loses it, and Titanite wins the main thing. Nice block there. Suzu takes down Chris Krieg. It looks like Roger's house is in the back. Out comes Nerboss with Transcendence. This should secure it. Bob is going to do something on this payload. Girls bring out the Hammond again, and Bob is definitely doing something. But already Tracer wins the second map and wins the series 2-0.
Yeah, that was a convincing win. It was more convincing than the Anubis game, that's for sure.
Yes, that's definitely true. So, who'll be your MVPs on this match on either team, Security? Like, team?
You know what? I think to be honest, the support duo for the we're already Tracer. They, you know, Gallia with some crazy reses that she pulled off, and Nerboss was just consistently good throughout like the whole match, like the 2 matches.
All right.
I mean, I would say it's just the support duo for the we already Tracer team for me.
Right. So there are your MVPs there. Is there anyone from blue team that you'd like to highlight? See how they did.
I think, especially on Anubis, Crested was just like he was the one who just powered the whole team through.